As we get the runaround from the federal government about what's really going on with these drones, I am very confident that probably on January 20th in his inaugural address, President Trump might just tell us the whole deal. He'll be entitled to. He'll have full capacity to release classified information. And this stuff shouldn't be classified. I've had it with the conflicting information. It is the Chinese. It's not the Chinese. It's America. It's a pain in the neck. But President Trump actually, I think, is hinting very closely to what he actually knows.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people. And they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster.
Will you shoot them down?
They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster.
Bedminster, yeah, he goes there a lot. Great big golf course, clubhouse. That's where he spends several months a year when he's not being president. He'll be at the White House a lot more. Look, here's the deal. He knows. He can't tell us. He's not president yet, but he knows. And I think this is a big clue, too.
Have you received an intelligence briefing on the drones?
I don't want to comment on that.
He's getting the briefings. He can't comment on it, but he will, maybe on January 20th, if we don't find out ahead of time. All these intelligence agencies, 18 of them, and I think they look down on us. They love power. They love the status. They love knowing things and not telling anybody or feeling special because they know things that other people don't know. 18 intelligence agencies. Some of these you've heard of, like the Central Intelligence Agency. But have you heard of this? The National Space Intelligence Center? We've got one of those. What else? The Bureau of Intelligence and Research. That's news to me. The National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, the NGA. I also didn't know we had one of those. So the drones are out there flying basically every night. Got to admit, I have not yet spotted my first drone. I'm anxious to do so. Went out last night. It was too cloudy, but it doesn't look like it's going to be. Who remembers Close Encounters of the Third Kind, right? They actually had a drone fly by in that movie.
They can fly rings around the moon, but we're years ahead of them on the highway.
And the cop cars represent us. Just trying to hold on. We don't know what's going on. Oh, boy, that was cool. They're not like that. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. If you haven't seen it, I highly, highly suggest it. Richard Dreyfuss calls it quits. And all right, I won't say anything else. So President Trump will tell us when he can. I'm confident of that. Meanwhile, Joe Biden, he knows and he won't tell us. He's on vacation again. Did you hear about this? He went away for Christmas today. It's Tuesday. Tuesday, the 17th of December. Christmas is next week. That's early, even for him. He's in Delaware. He knows what's happening, and he won't tell us. Do you remember that solemn, sacred promise he made to all of us?
My fellow Americans, I close the day where I began, with the sacred oath. Before God and all of you, I give you my word. I will always level with you.
You had to bring God into it, too. I think that's why you've had so many troubles, that sacred oath. And he's blowing us off. Blowing off is oath. Meanwhile, the people who still have to live in America and we don't have presidential protection and a presidential cocoon, we're dealing with it like this guy is, the mayor of Belleville, New Jersey.
In my opinion, they're looking for something. What might they be looking for? Well, potentially, we're aware of a threat that came in through Port Newark. Maybe that's radioactive material. There was and there is an alert that's out right now that radioactive material in New Jersey has gone missing.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that, Mr. Mayor. Meanwhile, it does bring people together. Democrats and Republicans alike, both frustrated about this moment. And it's possibly a little sign that maybe we can find common ground on some stuff.
The ridiculous lacking response by the federal government is the cause for the concern people have expressed.
This is what sort of boggles the mind, right? Don't worry, they're not a threat. We don't know what they are.
Right.
It just both can't be true.
Right.
Right? So this is why we need to get some answers.
And the people of Staten Island deserve answers. The people of this city and state and region deserve answers of what the heck is going on.
I did talk to the commander there. His men are seeing it right there at the base. Are you kidding me? A munitions depot of that caliber, and these drones are hovering in close proximity to it.
So even if these drones disappear, I do think we're going to get the full, straight story. And how about that for a moment of unity? How about that? Right off the bat, he can level with the American people in a way that Joe Biden never did on January 20th, 2025. Stay tuned. Prediction? Yeah, it's a prediction. All right, next, please. Yeah, the horrible massacre in Madison, Wisconsin. You heard about this, right? At the Christian school. We actually don't have many details on the victims, a teacher and a student. We don't even know the gender of the student, don't know too much about the teacher. The killer, we have the killer's picture, 15-year-old girl. We're not going to put the manifesto up. There's some online postings. Bottom line, she hated men really, really bad. And I wonder where she could have gotten a notion like that. Pretty much anywhere, right? Our society is upside down and backwards and all over the place right now. I think the ultimate solution for so many of these problems, this plague of violence, right? Sorry, but President Trump called it again.
You know, the other thing under attack is religion. Religion was like the glue that kept this country together, and so many people are mocking it now. They mock it, and it just kept our country together, but it's absolutely under attack.
Well, it's true, actually. You can't talk about Christ the way you can talk about, I'm coming out as non-binary, or whatever the hell that means, right? 2024, you can talk about anything, but if you start sharing the gospel, you're going to make somebody uncomfortable. You should save that for Sunday. That's got to change, don't you think? We can be respectful, but we have a duty, those of us who believe, to share the good news. If they can share that nonsense, we can share the ultimate truth. And I think this is the ultimate truth regarding the violence we're seeing in schools. Partially, I don't want to make too much of it, but it's not helping the situation. Mentioned this yesterday, the violent video games, right? They used to be so cool. They used to be so benign. Asteroids, this never inspired anybody to shoot up a school. All right, I know it's more complicated. Video games aren't the root of it, but psychotropic drugs, that's the leading suspect, all right, right there. And I think Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and President Trump are ready to tackle that big time.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.